Hello, welcome to day 2 of 100 days of network automation. So in the first video I did an introduction of what this is going to entail, and today we're straight into network automation tools. So I'm going to run through my top 12 network automation tools in order. I use these tools every single day. So this is all first-hand knowledge of what I do, and it's by no means an extensive list. It's just the most popular tools that I'm aware of, the ones that I use. I'm going to introduce them all to you, give them a brief overview, and then we'll discuss the rest of the series. So I'm just going to pop myself down here. So my name is Roger. If you don't know me, I am a Net DevOps engineer based in the UK, and I've been doing network automation for about 10 years now, and I thought it'd be a great idea to do 100 videos covering everything I know about network automation. So let's jump straight into it. Network automation tools. So the number one on my list here is Ansible. Now, if you've not heard of Ansible, you can go to here, docs.ansible.com. I'm going to put links to all the websites of all the tools in the description, but Ansible is an open source automation framework that enables you to perform IT automation tasks. It's grown great following in the network automation community, and it's amazing. It's a solid tool written in Python, and what you do is write what they call playbooks, and these playbooks are written in YAML, and you simply describe what you're going to do. So you say, for these devices, do this thing, and Ansible runs it and does the job. It's a great tool. There are also things called Ansible collections, and these are custom code blocks, Python modules that are written by each vendor. So each vendor has its specific collection, and that has all the knowledge of how to connect that device and how to run the commands. So Cisco has a collection, F5 has a connection, there's one for Nexus devices, there's one for Juniper devices. So you don't have to worry about all the specifics of how to connect to the device. The collection handles that, and you just write the task in Ansible. So number one on the list is Ansible. Number 2 on the list, Python. So whilst Python isn't a network automation tool, Python is a programming language, but Python is a fantastic tool for network automation. So you can write a Python script, a Python program to perform network automation tasks. Now, the only downside to using Python is that there is no inventory, no easy way to connect to the devices. You have to configure everything yourself. So if you understand how Python works and you've got good knowledge, there is a library called NetPicker, which you use to connect to the devices, but you've got to build your inventory, and then you can write a Python script to do whatever you want. So it's by no means an easy option, but it is also a very flexible option. Moving on to number 3, Nornir. Now, Nornir is a Python based network automation framework. What that means is Nornir has been built specifically for network automation, and it includes an inventory, a way to manage your devices, manage the credentials, and then you worry about writing the playbooks and the tasks within Nornir to run your network automation. So Nornir is here, nornir.readthedocs.io. I'm going to link all these as I said below. So Nornir is a great tool in terms of complexity. If you're going to start, you don't know any of these, start with Ansible. Easy to get started. You'll be up and running in 25 minutes. You can get things working, and then learn a bit of Python, learn how to do some basic things. And then once you master Python, start to look at Nornir. Nornir is a great way to do things fast. So if you've got a requirement to back up 2,000 devices and you have a short window, Nornir is the tool for you. So that's number 3. Number 4 on my list of tools is AWX. Now, Ansible is a CLI driven tool. So Ansible, you install it on a Linux server, and you drive it via CLI commands. It has no logging. You don't know who's done what, but it's very flexible to run on your laptop. AWX, which is Ansible AWX. Now the GitHub repo is here, and AWX provides a web-based user interface for Ansible. It provides you with a REST API, and it is the upstream project for Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform, which we'll come to in a second. So AWX, it provides you with a REST API. It provides logging. It provides security. So you can write your playbooks, and then you upload your playbooks into AWX, and then you can have a front end where you can click and run playbooks. You can trigger them via a REST API call, and you've also got full tracking and logging of the running of those playbooks, any errors, and with the RBAC you can control who can run what playbook. So AWX is fantastic. Now AWX is open source, and it is the upstream open source version of the Red Hat Automation Platform. Now previously, the Red Hat Automation Platform was called Ansible Tower. You may have heard of Ansible Tower. Red Hat Automation Platform is the newer name, and within Ansible Automation, or the Red Hat Automation Platform, the Ansible engine, which does all the running of the playbooks, is the AWX version of the open source. So you can choose, do you run AWX, which is free, unlimited devices, has all the features, but if it goes wrong, you're supporting it. Or you choose the Red Hat Automation Platform, which is a licensed product from Red Hat. So you then now have to purchase a license per device to run this. What it does give you is support from Red Hat, guaranteed certified collections, and a lot of other support which enterprises typically require. Now, Red Hat do state that AWX is not suitable for enterprise use, but I've worked in quite a few different companies who do use AWX. Now, the reason they say that is because it's not supported. So if you're running it in enterprise and it falls over in the morning, then your team have to fix that. So that's the difference between the two. They both do the same thing, and Automation Platform has some extra pieces to it aside from what AWX does, but the basics are AWX provides all of this for free, and the Red Hat Automation Platform costs money. Now, VSCode, number 6. Now, VSCode, again, is not specifically a network automation tool, but VSCode is a tool that you need to do network automation. So, VSCode, or Visual Studio Code, here, code.visualstudio.com, it's actually a Microsoft product, and it's open source, it's free, and it is the open source code editor. It's the one that everyone is using now. If you haven't heard of Visual Studio Code, check it out, install it, it's brilliant. It's a code editor, so you do all your code editing, that's great. It comes then with the facility to add in extensions. So extensions like the SSH remote connection. So you can set up remote connections from VS Code to your remote servers, and then you connect to those servers and code as if you were coding locally. So the folders show up, the terminal shows up, and then you can see the code that you're editing in the screen. It's a fantastic tool. It's constantly under development. Microsoft are doing a great job, and it's got bleeding edge features in it. It currently comes with, they've just updated it to run MCP servers. So there's loads of MCP stuff in there. There's linters in there for every programming language you can want to learn. I use VS Code literally every single day. It's the tool that I use. And if you're not using VS Code, then you need to. So that one is an essential. VS Code. Git. Okay, number 7. Git. Now, Git is free, open source again. Everything I do is free and open source. And it is a distributed version control system. So if you don't know what a version control system is, say for example you're working on a file and then you need to make another version of that file, people typically tend to save the file as router config 1 version 1, router config 1 version 2 with snmp fix, all these different configs. With Git, you have different commit versions of that file. So you maintain one file, but it has a commit history, so you can actually go back in time and track the changes to that file. So you only maintain one file, but Git maintains the history of all the changes to that file. Now Git is installed locally, and you can run all of this locally and manage all the changes to your local code. That's great. But if you're working in a team, you then need to move up to number 8 on my network automation tools, and that is GitHub or Bitbucket. Both do the same job. Now GitHub, here it is, github.com. This is a website that will store your code. So you have Git on your laptop, on your device, and then you create what they call repositories in GitHub, and you push all your code up to your repository. Now you can have public or private repositories. So a public repository, visible to the whole world, you can share your code, people can see it. Private repositories, only certain people can access it. So you can then collaborate with other developers, other people in your team, and you can both work on the same code, and you can push changes up to GitHub and then pull them down, and it's the way that you have to track your code now. Network engineers are always being told they have to be developers. You don't have to be a developer. What you do have to do is think like a developer. So maintaining good practices and keeping your code under version control is one of those key practices. So VSCode, Git, GitHub, Bitbucket. Number 9 is Netbox. So Netbox, this is an interesting one. So Netbox is a source of truth. So source of truth, which means it contains all the details about your network devices. So within this source of truth, you enter your sites. So you can create a site called New York. And then in that site, you have data center 1. And then in the site data center 1, you have rack 1. And in rack 1, you have a Cisco router. And that Cisco router has a management IP. And under that, you have interfaces and blah, blah, blah. And it goes on and on and on. All the information is saved in the network source of truth. And then you've got a single point where the information on your network is stored. And then you can use Ansible to connect back to Netbox and use it as the inventory. So when you want to check your devices, you want to know the IP of a device, you let Ansible talk to Netbox to get that information. Now, another thing here, Netbox. If you Google Netbox, the first hit you'll see is Netbox Labs. Now, the actual Netbox is the second hit here, which is the Netbox community. I'm going to go in there. This is the premier source of powering network automation. It's the premier source of truth. So the Netbox community, this is Netbox itself. Now, Jeremy Stretch here wrote Netbox many years ago. It's been under constant development, and he's still developing it today. You can see that we've got changes that have just been pushed in the last week. So Netbox is the tool. Netbox Labs here is a for-profit company that was set up, and it's using Netbox, but it's offering Netbox as more of a service. So they provide cloud-based Netbox. They will run on-prem Netbox for you. They'll manage your servers, but the biggest offering they've got now is cloud-based Netbox. So they're running their business and selling you Netbox as a service. So you've got two options. You can run Netbox yourself using the community version, or you can pay Netbox Labs and they can do it for you. So a couple options. The big benefit of Netbox Labs and the money flowing into them is they're they are constantly supporting the Netbox community. There's massive development going on. They're keeping Netbox alive. So that's what the two differences on those actually mean. They're also from Netbox. There was a couple of other things. They forked Netbox and Network to Code, a company, a network automation company based out of New York. They created a cool tool called Autobot. Same thing, network source of truth, but with some automation built in. And then I'm going to jump onto the number 10, which is Infrahub. Now, Infrahub is the new kid on the block for network source of truth. Now, do you remember I said back here that when you do your source of truth, you have to put your devices into your city, into your data center, into rack, and in the models and everything. This is the data model of Netbox. Now, the data model is set. You have to put your devices into that data model. Infrahub, their offering is that you can have a unlimited, free to change data model. So you've got a changeable schema. So you can build your own source of truth exactly how you want it with all your schema and the database model. Now, that is good and it's bad. So it's good if you know what you're doing. So if you've used Netbox for a long time and you're getting stuck and you're struggling with the way that the data is being handled, Infrahub is a brilliant tool so you can then define your own way of doing things. If you're new to this, then I would stick with Netbox, because that has got a defined data model and you are starting straight in with a defined model that you know what to do with. When you start Infrahub, you've got a blank canvas. So you kind of need to know what you're doing before you get started. But watch this space. Infrahub is the new one on the block and it is coming with loads of great features. And I will have a few days on that towards the end of this series. So we'll keep that. And then ContainerLab is in at number 11. Now, this ContainerLab is for using containerized images of network devices to build your labs. I actually haven't got ContainerLab here. So ContainerLab, here it is. I'll put these links in the description, like I said. So if you've got a network operating system that has already been containerized, brilliant. You can use this natively in ContainerLab and you can spin up devices really quickly. So for example, SR Linux is a containerized image. You can build these topologies in ContainerLab. They spin up super quick. On top of that, if you don't have a containerized image, if your vendor doesn't provide one, they also have a way to build your own containerized images, which I'll also be going into about day 50, I think, on this series. And I'll show you how to do that. But if you are looking now, you're working with network automation, you're looking to build labs, used to be GNS3, EVE-NG. The tool now to use is ContainerLab. And finally, number 12, I'm going to throw in things throughout this series of niche tools, little tools I've picked up that are coming along that most people would never hear of. And NetPicker is one of those tools. So NetPicker, netpicker.io, is an easy to use Python powered network automation platform. Now, this will provide you with config backup, compliance testing, and it's now got some orchestration and network automation functionality built in. You can download it for free. You can back up as many devices as you want, unlimited devices to back up. You can then run the compliance testing functionality across 10 of those devices. So the way it works is the first 10 devices that you add into it, you can then run all the compliance testing. So you can say, does this device have this configured? Run a test, and it's got PyTest in the background and it works off there. And you can get lovely, great dashboards and graphs of your devices in or out of compliance. And as I said, it's also doing network automation and there's some orchestration bits in here. It's a constantly developed product, really good. I know the guys at NetPicker. So go over here, download it, have a play with it. There's a sandbox here that you can dig into. Great little tool. So I'll keep dropping these in throughout the series because I come across these tools and they are great. If you want to use the full powered version, then they have pricing for devices, but I'll let you speak to them about that one. So that's it. Top 12 network automation tools. Every single one of these tools I use pretty much on a daily basis. So I've got full experience with all of these, and this is my core tool set that I use for network automation. Now there's going to be a lot more, as there's going to be a lot more coming, but my advice to you is to get some knowledge, just get to know what each one of these does. If you've got a grasp of what each one of these is, fantastic for a job interview. If you can talk just very briefly about any of these, it's a great tool, and just expand your knowledge, keep learning any of these things. So that's day 2 finished. Day 3, we're going to start an 8-day run on Ansible. So I'm going to go all the way through Ansible, 8 days of Ansible, and at the last day we'll have a little mini project with something tangible that you can use. So if you've enjoyed this, my name's Roger. Hit the subscribe button. This will alert you to as each new video pops, but this is going to run now for the next 98 days, 1 a day from today. Hope you enjoy it. Tell your friends, share it, pop it on LinkedIn, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.